Hello everyone. So in today's session, we are going to talk about pharmacology in lactation as a part of our revision rush series for IBCLC exams. It is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change. With this motivational quote from Queen Elizabeth II, let's begin our session. So in this session, I will be talking about drug transfer in breast milk. Let's see how to interpret RID and milk to plasma ratio, how to identify drugs which are safe versus which are risky, and let's also dig upon some clinical scenarios or MCQs. So, what is the basic principle here? Let's see. The basic principle is that drugs enter milk via the maternal plasma. So, the concentration in maternal plasma would determine how much amount of drug is going to be there in breast milk. It also depends on pharmacokinetic of the drug. What determines the passage of the breast milk into the breast milk? So very important factor. These are the three very important factors which is related to the drug per se. Degree of protein binding. So molecules with a high degree of protein binding have more difficulty entering breast milk. So if a drug has high protein binding, they are safer. Then is degree of ionization. Molecules with high degree of ionization have more difficulty entering breast milk. So drugs which are having high degree of ionization are quite safer drug. Then third is volume of distribution. So in terms of volume of distribution in maternal plasma determines the availability of the drug in breast milk. So main drug-related factors are size of the molecule, protein binding, ionization. So what are the key determinants here? If there is high plasma concentration, then there will be obviously more transfer of drug into the breast milk and there would be more side effect to the newborn receiving breast milk. If the drug has a low molecular weight, it is easier for the drug to get transferred from plasma to the breast milk. And it is said that especially drugs which have a size less than 500 DA are easily transferable in breast milk. Low protein binding in turns favor breast milk transfer and it is harmful to the baby. High lipid solubility increases chances of transfer, and if it is weak bases, which we just discussed, that if the ionization is high, it is difficult for the drug to get transferred into the breast milk. Now, let's see what is milk to plasma ratio. When we talk about milk to plasma ratio, we are meaning the ratio of drug in breast milk to the ratio of drug in plasma. By assessing the milk to plasma ratio of a medicine, we can predict how much a child will ingest the drug. From this information, the relative infant dose, which is RID, the dose the infant gets relative to the dose of the women, can be calculated. In general, a medicine is seen to be safe in breastfeeding if the relative infant dose or the RID or the relative child dose is less than 10% of the maternal dose. It is unlikely that it would be asked in exam how to calculate per se for a particular drug, but what we have to remember is that drugs which have an RID of less than 10% are usually safe. Now let's see what is relative infant dose or RID. So RID is infant dose versus the maternal dose. How is it calculated? Obviously, the amount of drug in infant per se the amount of drug in mother, and these should be exclusively breastfed children. Now, less than 10% of RID means the drug is usually safe, but if it is more than 10%, then the drug is not categorized as unsafe, but caution should be taken and the parent should be informed about what could be the side effect of the drug on an infant and what to be watchful for. Okay. half-life also has an important, in any drug pharmacokinetics, most important thing which always we see is what is the half-life of drugs. So the drugs which have shorter half-life, which is very low half-life, they get to excrete quickly. So those are the drugs which are kind of safer. So short half-life is always preferred. Less accumulation, this would call less of accumulation in infants because they are excreted or they are cleared off from the plasma quickly. So dose timing also can reduce the exposure. So if a drug has a very short half-life and if the mother has just fed, and we would advise that the mother to take the medicine then and there immediately after the feed has been given to the baby, so that she'll have a gap of 3 to 4 hours between the other breast milk timing, other breastfeeding timing, and during this time there are more chances that the drug can be eliminated from the body. So because then the plasma concentration of drug would reduce in mother, that would in turn cause reduction in the concentration of drug in breast milk, and so less of transfer. So in short, a short half-life means drug is eliminated as early as possible from mother's body, so there will be less concentration in the maternal plasma, so milk to plasma ratio will be less. Now, oral bioavailability, it is said that drugs which have low bioavailability are safer drugs, and drugs also get destroyed in the infant gut. So usually they will have a minimum effect. Also, we need to look into this important point here is that colostrum versus mature milk. So colostrum is more permeable. So early phase is more permeable because newborns are more sensitive. So the chances of drug for it to get transferred and absorbed is high. And in colostrum, because there is high protein, low protein binding, also can cause more of drug transfer into milk. So, but the total volume is low, so there is low exposure. Okay, what are the infant factors? So the most important infant factor is what is the gestation. So babies who are born preterm or who are small for gestational age have higher chances because they have more chances of drug being transferred into their body as they have immature metabolism. So we have to look out for accumulation. What are the signs that we should be looking out for? What are the how many times the child passes urine? How many times the child is passing motions? And is there any sleepiness or is there any dullness? We would see all those signs in the coming slides. So in short, let's see factors affecting milk transfer are serum binding protein. High protein binding would decrease the chances of transfer, lipid solubility, acidity or ionization, and molecular weight. Factors affecting infant exposure could be gestational age or prematurity, oral bioavailability, and drug metabolism. Okay, now let's see some drugs in short. So analgesics, these are the commonest used drugs, and they are right and left prescribed by the gynecologist immediately after delivery. So which are the preferred one? So ibuprofen is the one which should be always preferred, and they are the safest in all the setups of other analgesics. Acetaminophen is also safe, but not as safe as ibuprofen. Codeine we never recommend, and again morphine, codeine are one which has to be given. Caution has to be administered. Mother has to be informed. A written consent has to be taken. We have to keep on checking their knowledge that they know if they're taking a drug, is it safe or not for the baby, and what could be the chances that the baby might have side effect, and what could be the withdrawal symptoms. Especially in cases of morphine, we always have to explain them about the withdrawal symptoms if the mother has been taking morphine or any sedative painkillers for a longer duration. Also here, antibiotics, again, most of the mothers who have undergone a cesarean section or a complicated delivery or had an infection intrapartum are recommended antibiotics. Most of the antibiotics are safe, while breastfeeding, but we have to tell the parents about that it can change the gut flora of the baby, it can affect the flora of the baby, and in turn affect the number of counts of poop. And it can also, if given for longer duration, can affect antibiotic sensitivity in a newborn. So it could be one of the causes of antibiotic resistance in a newborn if the mother is receiving higher doses of antibiotic for a longer duration. Anticonvulsants. So a lot of mother, in case of epilepsy or seizure disorder, receives anticonvulsants. What has seen with lot of studies is that sodium valproate is the most harmful, not only while breastfeeding but also in pregnancy, and it is teratogenic. So it is one of the drugs which have been almost obsolete now. We don't even use it in pediatric age group because it affects the fertility, it affects pregnancy, it affects the fetus as well. So sodium valproate is an absolute no-no. Lamotrigine has moderate risk but is comparatively safe. Topiramate, again, parents are advised because the child gets very irritable, there could be excessive sleepiness. So the parents are, and there could be reduced appetite with topiramate. So parents are advised that if the mother is taking topiramate, we should be monitoring the baby frequently. Antidepressants. So in case the mother is on antidepressant, the safest to receive is sertraline. Acceptable is paroxetine, but fluoxetine, because it has a long half-life and it can be eliminated in 2 days or 3 days, up till 72 hours. So it's very difficult to know how much it is going in breast milk and how much side effects the baby is going to have. So always advise caution when a mother is receiving fluoxetine. As a lactational consultant, what we have to remember is we are not prescribing any of these drugs. These drugs have been already described by their physicians or their respective psychiatrists or their gynecologists. We are just making sure that we are checking on their knowledge and we are ensuring that the parents know the drugs which they are taking, how much amount is going in the breast milk, and which drugs are safer to give during breast milk. And if they have some questions about it, they can clarify with us. Always watch for withdrawal symptoms if exposure for longer duration during pregnancy is there. What are the withdrawal symptoms which we can expect in antidepressants? Mainly, there could be low muscle tone, which is what worries us as a lactational consultant, because the child might have shallow latch or might not latch at all. They will be dull. They will have poor feeding, poor suck. They will be irritable frequently, and there could be excessive sleepiness. So there could be bouts of excessive sleepiness, and then when they are getting up, they are quite irritable. So these are some things which we have to be watchful about when a mother is on antidepressants. What are the high-risk drugs? So the high-risk drugs are chemotherapy agents, radioactive agents, high-dose iodine, sedatives, and opioids. So what should we suggest the mother? Should we ask them that no, absolutely you can't breastfeed? No, we don't do that. We always tell what are the side effects, what are the high risks the baby can have, what are the side effects a baby can have, and what are the chances of these drugs getting transferred in the breast milk. Always give option to the mother to breastfeed or not. That is not us who have to decide about their children. We just can give them, educate them, provide them with evidence-based guidelines. But at the end of the day, it's mother's call if they want to breastfeed or not. What infant monitoring has to be done when a baby, when a mother is on antibiotic or analgesic or antidepressant or anticonvulsant or any other medicine? So always tell the mother that if the child is more sleepy, if there is poor feeding, if the child is irritable, if there is shallow breathing, if you feel the child is not breathing properly, and if there is low muscle tone, the child has a shallow latch, he looks lethargic, What are the clinical strategies here which should be keeping in mind when we are advising them about which medicines they are taking? So always use lowest effective dose. So always discuss with them that please consult your physician or your concerned doctor, that hopefully they are giving you a lower effective dose, so that the chances the plasma concentration is not that much, and so the transfer is also less. Prefer short half-life drugs and dose after feeds. So if there is short half-life, immediately after the feed, the mother can take the medicine so that there is elimination before the second breastfeeding time is there. And avoid polypharmacy, that is avoid to take different kinds of two forms of analgesics or two types of antibiotics. Try to avoid, because the drugs themselves have a lot of interactions, so that can lead to more of transfer in breast milk, and it is very difficult for us to assess that which drug would get transferred how much. Now on your right side, what you can see is a chart which says, so this is a very important chart. Most of the drugs which you would see in the lactational guidelines, or in the a lot of glossary available online, which would tell you which are the drugs which are safe or unsafe, and how do they decide it, or how do they label it. L1 usually are the drugs which are safest to give, so they have no risk of adverse effect in breastfeeding kids. L2 is also safe drugs. It is highly unlikely that they can cause a side effect. Then L3 are drugs which are probably safe, and they cannot cause any grave side effect, but they should be given with cautious. Then there are L4 drugs which are possibly hazardous drugs that lactating parents should only use if the benefits outweigh the risk. And then there is L5 or hazardous drug, which should not be given at all. And regarding this, what would help is LecMed database would always help if we have a doubt about any medication. AAP guidelines are there to tell which drugs can be given safely or not. And this is Hale's medication and mother's milk, which gives a glossary of over 200-300 medicines, where it says that L1, L2, L3, L4, which drugs are safe and which are not safe to give. Okay, now one word about vaccines and breastfeeding. So most vaccines are safe during lactation, so mother should always be encouraged to breastfeed and can be vaccinated. Especially a lot of mothers are worried about getting Gardasil or HPV vaccines, the human papilloma virus vaccines. It is absolutely safe during pregnancy as well as during lactation. No need to interrupt the breastfeeding. So mother can be continue the breastfeeding even if she is vaccinated. Vaccines do not transfer significantly into milk. Even if they do, infant GI tract would cause destruction, and this may lead to, there is a small amount of data which suggests that some vaccines also help the baby. If the mother is breastfeeding, they might provide some amount of passive immunity to the baby, especially the COVID vaccine. Now, what are the drugs which are completely contraindicated? Smallpox vaccine is contraindicated, and it is advisable to avoid below 1 year of age for the infant. Till the child gets 1 year of age, mother should avoid taking smallpox vaccine, and also yellow fever vaccine. That should be taken with caution, because some cases of encephalitis has been seen. So it is preferable to avoid it is advisable that mother should avoid taking yellow fever vaccines till their infant becomes 9 months of age. Okay, before we conclude this topic, let's check what we have learned today with these MCQ. A lactating mother is prescribed a medication with a relative infant dose RID of 8%. Her infant is full term and healthy. What is the most appropriate interpretation? So the drug is contraindicated, the drug is safe and requires no monitoring, the drug is generally acceptable with routine monitoring, and the drug will accumulate in milk and must be avoided. So as we discussed in detail that RID of less than 10% is usually safe. So it could be B or C, but could it be B? No, because any drug monitoring is always required. Even if the RID is 2 or 3% also, that doesn't tell us not to monitor the infant. The infant should be monitored irrespective of RID, irrespective of what kind of drug mother is taking. If mother is on any medication, the infant has to be monitored. So the answer here is the drug is generally acceptable with routine monitoring. Now, the next question is, which of the following drugs is most likely to transfer into breast milk in higher amounts? Is it a drug with high molecular weight and with high protein bound drug? If it's a drug with low molecular weight and low protein binding, if it's drug with poor lipid solubility, or if it's the drug with high ionization in plasma. So as we discussed, the drug which are highly transferred are the drugs which are having low molecular weight, which have low protein binding, which have low ionization, which have weak bases, and which have low we discussed which is low protein binding. So the answer to this is B, which is low molecular weight with low protein binding. These are the drugs which have more chances that they would be transferred in high amount in breast milk. So what are our take-home points here in this session? That most of the medications are safe, but we would always check L1 to L5 from the glossary, from the peer-review journals or AAP guidelines or the respective trust guidelines. Always use RID, which is relative infant dose, plus your clinical judgment, plus the features child is having, and milk to plasma ratio. Always monitor infant. That has to be told to the mother. Thank you so much for the session.